Hey there and welcome back to the club. Today I'll be showing you how to draw Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So we're going to start with the bridge of the nose. Starting from the left to right, we're going to draw a curve. Starting over on the left, curving over on the right. From here we're going to go above and draw in the brow line. So on the left of center, we're just going to draw a curve going up and in. On the right we'll do the same thing. So basically we're just mirroring everything we do on the left with the right. So here we're going to take that point and curve up along the top of the brow. We'll do the same thing on the right side. It's always easiest to work from left to right if you're trying to balance things out. From the end here, I'm just going to curve out towards the left. Do the same thing on the right side. Now we're going to layer the eyes underneath. So just below this line here, we're just going to draw a curve going underneath that brow. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Now I just want to make sure that I'm making the lines at the same height. From here, I'm just going to step in on the left, just draw an angled line coming down. We're going to draw the same thing on the right side. Now we're going to tuck in the bottom eyelid. From this point, we'll curve underneath that brow. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Okay, so we got the eyes. Let's work our way around the mask. So just above this beak area, so we're just going to draw a curve going right in. So there's a little overlap. Do the same thing on the right side. Now from here, we're just going to draw a wrinkle in the mask. We're just going to draw a curve going in above that brow. I'm doing an overlap here and just draw a curve going up on both sides. Now we're going to take these ends and curve right into the center of the mask. So from up here, it's going to curve in and down. Do the same thing on the right side. From here, you probably want to just show a little bit of the brow just peeking up behind the mask. So in the center here, I'm going to draw a curve going up towards the right. And just up here on the left, I'm just going to draw a little curve, just a tiny little indication of the brow. From here, let's go ahead and draw in the mouth. So like this line here, we're going to draw the opposite. We're going to flip it over and draw the top of the mouth. Starting on the left, curve down and work our way towards the right. Now we're going to curl the ends of the mouth around and underneath the top of the lip. So from this point, I'm going to go out, almost like an oval, and tuck that in underneath the lip. Let's go to the right side and do the same thing. So curving out and tucking that underneath. We want to give them some teeth. So from here on the top, we're just going to draw a straight line down and color the end in black. Do the same thing on the right side. Straight line, coloring that in black. Now in the center here, I just want to draw a straight line going across, just to separate the teeth. Now we're not going to go all the way into the inside, because I'm going to cross it like a T. And then we're going to color that little square on the bottom black. From here, let's work our way around the cheeks. So just underneath the edge of this mask, we're going to step in just a little bit, curve around the mouth, and then just come up to about there. Do the same thing on the right side. Starting from the bottom, curve around, and tuck that in underneath the mask. And for the chin, we're just going to tuck the chin underneath those cheeks. So right here, on the left, we'll curve down, and on the right side. From here, let's draw the top of the head. So it's basically like a circle. We're going to start on the side here on the left. We're going to step in just a little bit and just draw a curve going over to the right side. Coming up in the middle, and then back down. From here, you want to draw in some forehead wrinkles. So on this side here, we're just going to draw a little wave. Coming down the middle, and up on the right side. Let's draw some of those tassels coming off the mask in the back here. So we're going to start on the top, anywhere around here. I'm just going to draw a little wave like this. That's our starting point. Now we want to make the ribbon look like it's actually folding in on itself. So from this edge, I'm going to draw an angled line coming down. From this edge, I'll draw an angled line coming down. And then from the end, I'll do the same thing. So we've got 3 lines in the same direction. From the top here, we're just going to curve and just taper it in and tuck it in underneath the line. From this point, we're just going to follow this curve and just tuck it in right in there. Like this. And then from this side, we'll do the same thing. So just following that line and then just tapering to a point. So it kind of looks like the ribbon's sort of flowing this way. We're going to draw one more underneath. So right here, we're going to do another wave. And it's basically the same thing. So from the end, we'll draw an angled line. And then from here, we'll draw an angled line. I'm going to take this point and just follow this curve all the way to that point. Curving around and then just tapering it in. And then from here, we'll do the same thing. So coming down and just coming into a point at the end. From this point, I'm going to draw the character with his hands crossed, holding his side blades. So the first thing we're going to want to do is draw in the hands, because they're going to overlap the body and the chest. So let's start with this side first. We're going to draw the hand like this. So we're going to draw the arm coming up in this angle. This arm is going to come out in that angle. So the first thing we want to do is draw the split in between the knuckles. So right about here, we're going to give ourselves enough room. Here we're going to draw an angled line going up in the direction that we want. From this point, we want to curve out the top of the first finger and then the second finger. So you can see that's almost like an angled T. From here, I'm going to curve down. Do the same thing on the right side. So it's almost like an angled M shape. From here, I'm going to draw the edges of the blades. So from here, I'm going to draw a curve. From this point in the knuckle, I'm going to draw a curve around the face. I'm going to bring that back in so it gets a little bit wider, and then I'm going to pull it underneath the hand like that. Let's do the opposite on this side. So starting from this point in the knuckle, we'll curve out, and then we're going to curve back in, getting wider, and then just pull that in underneath the fingers. Now we want the actual blade to stick out following this line here all the way to the tip. So I'm going to go to the edge of my paper right here. I'm going to draw an angled line coming down and then right to the side of that middle point. I'm going to go back up to the top and just go a little bit wider as I come down on the opposite side of that line. Okay, so we got the blade in behind the hand. Now we want to work our way down towards the wrist, but I'm going to have that thumb folded underneath this side of the blade. So up here, I'm going to draw a straight line going across. This is the edge of the thumb. I'm going to curve towards this part of the hand. Now we're going to curve in towards the wrist. So right about here, we'll curve in. From this point, I'm going to curve in. Now we're just going to finish off the wrist with a curve because we're going to draw on some wristbands afterwards. We want to take this exact same thing, flip it over, and just draw it on this side of the body. So I just want to start at the same height of that center line. So right about there, I'm going to draw an angled line. Like that. So making sure they're roughly the same size. Now we're going to work our way around the knuckles. From up here, curve out, and then curve out. We're going to take those 2 points. Again, we're going to curve out the sides. So from here, we're going to curve out. From here, we're going to curve out. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to draw the edges of the blades. Starting from the top first, I'm going to curve up. We're going to taper back out and then just tuck that in underneath the hand. Do this side. From this corner, I'm going to curve out in the opposite direction, curve back, and then tuck that in underneath the hand. From here, let's draw in the blade. So we want roughly the same length blade. I'm just going to go to the edge of my paper here, draw a point. Again, we're going to draw a curve or almost like a straight line coming down to the left side of that line. And I just want to make sure it's the same thickness on left and right. So I'm just going to pull it back like that. From here, we're going to work our way down to the side of the hand. Again, we're going to draw that line for the thumb. So straight across, we're going to curve, just like we did here. So if you imagine a line in the middle here, we're just mirroring it over. From here, we're going to work our way down to the wrist. So this part here, and then this line here will come down to right about there. So curving down, and then we're just going to close this off with a curve. One thing I want to do here is I want to just show a little bit of the knuckle. So I'm just going to draw a little bit of a wave here. So in here I'm just going to curve in towards the center, up, and then back down. Do the exact same opposite on this side. So starting at the top, curving in towards the knuckle, and then back around like that. Okay, so we got the hands. The next thing we want to do, we need to figure out where the elbows are going to go. So this one's going to come down this way, this one's going to come down this way. So we want to make sure that the shoulders are wide enough for the arms. So up here, we want to draw the shoulders pretty high up. So just up here beside the mask, I'm just going to draw a curve on both sides like this. From here, we're going to work our way around the tops of the shoulder. So the tops of the shoulder, I'm going to draw in an angle this way. Coming up here, and just overlap that shoulder line. Do the same thing, and just tuck this in underneath the blade. From here, we're going to round out the tops of the shoulders. So making sure that we're at the same height here, and just round out the shoulders. Here we're going to round out the shoulders, roughly the same size on both sides, and then we're going to curve these in with a hard turn, coming in like this. Now that we have the shoulders, we can work our way down towards the arms. So this is going to come down to the elbow because we want to make sure that the upper arm is almost coming down straight, or even like this way. We don't want them flared out at the top. So from here, to make it simple, I'm going to take this point and curve towards the inner part of the elbow. So curving in like that. We're going to take the arm underneath and just imagine a curve like this going underneath that arm. I'll just finish it off here as well. From this point, I'm going to draw on the bottom of the arm going to an elbow pad. So the arm is going to come out wide to an elbow right about here. So I'm going to take this point and curve down. So it's getting wider. As I come down here, I want to leave enough room for that big chunky elbow pad. From here, I'm going to curve from this point up, aiming towards that elbow. From here, I want to curve across to the side of the arm. So arm's going to come down this way. So I want to draw a curve like this. This is the starting point of our elbow pad. From this point, I want to divide this line into 3 sections. So we're here, and here I'm going to draw a curve from. So I'm going to start on this side, draw a curve coming down, and then wrapping around to that point. We're going to do 3 of these, so it just overlaps. So we're going to divide this point to this point in half, curving around, and then just tucking that in underneath that first section. From the end, I'm just going to curve around and just do that again. So it looks like a big chunky elbow pad. From this point in the inner part of the elbow, I'm going to curve in. Take this point here and just make it a little bit wider as it gets towards the elbow pad. Up here, I could just draw a little curve like that, just for a little wrinkle. Up here, I'm going to just tuck in about halfway down this line, the back of the arm into that elbow pad. And then here, I'm just going to draw a little curve like this, just to show the back of the tricep. Now up here, we're going to have to draw in a bicep somewhere up here. So just right about here, I'm just going to curve and just fill in the gaps as I go. We're going to draw that exact same arm on this side. Actually, before I forget, I'm going to draw a wristband. So up here, just draw a curve like this. And then we're going to draw some lines, some curves to show the wrap. So drawing a curve like this, and then just another one in the back like that. From here, let's draw on this back arm. So this arm, we're going to duplicate on this side. So starting on the inner edge of that elbow, we're going to draw a curve that goes to the inside of the elbow, probably somewhere around there. So draw a curve like that. From here, we're going to draw on the bottom part of the arm. So I want to make sure we've got the same, almost like thickness. I want to get that same point here. So imagine that arm coming down to that elbow. We're going to draw a curve going up, and then we're going to go across with a curve to right about there. Now we're going to draw those segments. We start on the inside this time, curving around and this way. Now we want to take this point, split it in half, so this is going to come underneath. Tuck that in underneath like that. And one final one, do an overlap, and curve that right in like that. Let's draw on the back of the arm, so halfway between this line, I'm just going to curve out and into that point in the elbow pad. Up here, just draw a little curve for the tricep. Now this strap, I'm going to start from this point here, draw a curve like this. We're probably going to have to extend this line just a little bit, enough for the strap going across, and we'll just draw a line like that. I want to draw the bicep, so we're going to tuck it in right about here underneath that hand like that. We're going to draw in some separation in the chest. So underneath this chin, we're going to draw a curve from the left and curve up underneath the chin on the right. From the center point, we're going to draw a line straight down, splitting the chest. Up here, I'm going to just draw the top edge of the chest plate. Down here, I'm just going to draw a curve for the belly. I'm going to split that in half. Now, you can see that I'm just going in and just filling the gaps where there's little openings and cracks. Up in the back here, we're just going to draw the edge of the shell. So on the shoulder here, draw a curve going in behind the head, and we'll curve it back behind on the right side. Up here, we're just going to draw a couple curves inside that edge just to separate the shell. And that is pretty much it. There we have it. There's Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please give us a like and make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.